Hi, my name is Shawn Walsh, and I'm the Emerging Services and Technologies Librarian here at Madison Public Library, and welcome to Food Bytes. This is our chance to do some fun food demos for you, and I love doing this. I enjoy cooking. It's definitely my hobby, and I'm an avid Food Network watcher, just probably like you guys. I have had some experience. I did work in a professional kitchen for a little while, and I was on the line, and I also baked a little bit. And so I do have some experience there, but I do not consider myself a chef and don't like to be called chef. I'm just a cook. I enjoy cooking. It's fun. So today we're going to do a riff on a chicken saltimbocca, which is, in this case, we're going to use chicken tenders again because they're quick and it's good for the TV. I'm going to take those chicken tenders, I'm going to put a little bit of lemon zest on them. I'm going to put some sage leaves on them, and I'm going to wrap it up in prosciutto, and I'm going to crisp that up in a pan along with cooking the chicken. And then I'm going to take the chicken out. I'm going to make a pan sauce from the fond left over from the prosciutto, as well as some of the chicken. And it's going to be a lemon cream sauce. I'm going to put a little bit of red pepper flake in there because I like it, and a little bit of shallots. And so let's go ahead and talk about what's in front of me, my mise en place, and we'll go from there. All right, for this recipe, obviously you're going to need some chicken, and I'm using chicken tenders, but usually you could do 4 boneless, skinless chicken breasts. I would pound them out so that they're the same thickness because it just cooks a lot better and it's easier to wrap. Some wonderful prosciutto and some sage leaves and some lemon zest. And so I just zested the lemon that I'm going to end up using for the sauce. So along with all these things for the sauce itself, a little bit of parsley, some cut up garlic. I did 2 cloves of garlic, and I did 1 medium shallot for the sauce. Got some heavy whipping cream, a little bit of regular olive oil, some chicken stock, and 1 lemon. And so the recipe will be up next to me in a second. For my breading, because I'm going to lightly flour it, it's just regular all-purpose flour. Some black pepper, and some Italian seasoning that I picked up at the store. And then finally, if you like it, some red pepper flakes is really good in this dish. I'm a fan of heat, so I enjoy doing this. But if you don't like the heat, you don't have to put it in there. Same thing if you don't like sage, if you find it kind of a metallic tasting, some people say that, don't put it in there. It's really good with just the lemon zest and the prosciutto on the chicken. It's wonderful. And again, if you don't want the heavy cream, move that out. This is what I'm showing you, but it's your recipe. Cook at home. Have fun. Enjoy putting the things together. The important thing is taste, taste, taste. And if I always have 2 spoons. So 1 spoon goes in my mouth, and 1 spoon goes in the dish. So I take this spoon and put some sauce in here, and then put this in my mouth, so that I'm not going through 100 spoons. That's your tip for the day. And then I also like these mise en place cups. These things are great, especially when I'm trying to get everything together, not just for recording. I do this at home as well. It just makes it so much easier. And I'll tell you, if you're making any kind of Asian dish, like a stir fry, you've got to have your ingredients like ready to go, boom, boom, boom. The other thing I'm going to be using is, I wash my hands quite a bit when I'm not on camera, but I'm going to be using some nitrile gloves just to make things a little bit easier for me, because I got a little bit of breading stuck on my fingers the other time. It took me a little while to wash it. So I'm going to go from there. So the next thing is we're going to start getting some chicken wrapped up and go from there. So see you in a bit. All right, so I've got my prosciutto here, and I'm left the grease proof paper on there because it kind of makes it easier to get off, because it does stick a little bit to everything, which is good. I've got it horizontal because I'm going to try to roll up my chicken, and I put down the lemon zest. So the next thing is we're going to go ahead and get a piece of chicken, and we'll put that here in the middle. All right, and then, so that it looks pretty, put a couple of these sage leaves on here. And if they don't want to go one way, they can go the other way. All right. So we've got that. And you know what? I'm going to use a little bit of pepper, because I want a little seasoning in there. Okay. And now the fun part is wrapping all this stuff up. So again, this is where the the greaseproof paper kind of comes in handy. So if you can kind of see, I kind of started wrapping it, and now I just kind of peel back carefully, and some of it may stick, and it's okay, the world won't end. Greaseproof paper, and kind of just roll that guy up as tight as I can, and if it doesn't go, it doesn't go. Again, this is food, the world won't end. Alright, roll it up a little bit more. And I may tighten that up in a second, but that's pretty much it. You roll it up, you know, and I'll tighten this up a little bit with my hand, but that's kind of it. It's a nice little package. There, it's all wrapped up. You can kind of see some of the sage leaves sticking out. I'm going to lightly flour it, and then I'll go ahead and pan sear it. So I'm going to make a bunch of these, and we'll be right back. Alright, I made up a couple more of these. They're not the prettiest things in the world, but to be honest with you, you know, there's that old thing about an ugly duckling turning into a swan. These are going to taste awesome. They may not be pretty, but they taste awesome. Again, I'm not a professional chef. So I'm going to lightly coat these with a little bit of flour just to get them a light coating. I don't want too much going on here. So I'll coat that one and wait for my butter and olive oil to come up to temperature, and I'm running about, I'd say medium high, so about, it's about 275, give or take, on the induction burner here. And, you know, your thing is going to go however it wants to go, so let your stove and your oven or whatever tell you what you need to know, you know, as far as things go. So I can get a couple more in here to get dusted off. That butter's starting to smell delicious, isn't it, Colt? All right, Colt's my producer. He's the guy making sure everything works. Making me look awesome. Alright. Again, light coating of flour. And also, by the way, I use this flour to collect the extra grease when I'm done doing stuff. So, clean hand. And if you notice, when I lift it up, the induction burner actually goes off. So, alright. Get this guy up to temperature. And set that in there. Set that in there. Set that one in there. I'm kind of going to nestle them in there a little bit. Alright. So now our goal, because the temperature's dropped a little bit, is our goal is to bring it up to temp. So I'm going to put a lid on it. And we're going to bring this up to temp, and the next thing you know, I'm going to have this thing turned over and crisped up on one side. So see you in a bit. It's starting to crisp up. It's got a little texture to it. That flour helps out too. And the flour is also going to thicken the sauce up in a little bit too. So I'm going to keep cooking because we want all sides nice and crispy, because that's one of the best parts of this whole dish, is that wonderful crisp prosciutto. So we're going to keep going. Alright, so we've cooked this for a while, and the prosciutto is nice and crispy. So we're going to go ahead and take this out. And then I'm going to get some of the excess fat out of here, and then I'm going to start making my pan sauce. But I'm going to save all the yum bits in there. All the fond, all those brown bits are just lovely deliciousness, okay? And this is also a good use for your leftover flour, is to dump this excess grease, this oil, and butter in there. So that's what I'm going to do. And some more butter there. And I'm going to drop this down to medium-low because I don't want it too hot. Let me get that butter going. I think I'm going to switch over to a spoon here. Just kind of start scraping up those brown bits. And I don't want the butter to get going too much before I start adding other things in. So this is where I'm going to add in that shallot. And start sweating that down. And I wish you could be in here and do the smell-o-vision thing like they always joke with on TV, because shallots smell awesome. They're one of my favorites. You know, they're such a nice combination of some of the awesome values of garlic and some of the awesome values of onions. So I'm scraping up those brown bits, those delicious, delicious brown bits. So they're going. So we're going to keep building our sauce here. So I'm going to go ahead and add in some garlic. And yes, I like my garlic in big pieces because I like to taste the garlic. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to let this sweat down for a little while, and I'll be right back. Alright, so I've definitely sweated that down. I took the last little bit of lemon zest that I had floating around, and I also just threw that in there. And I'm going to throw in some red pepper flake because I like to sweat that down a little bit. And then some more of this Italian seasoning like I've used in the breading, as well as a little bit of pepper. And we'll get those spices going. Because some of them end up having wonderful flavors that come out in oil. So we want to kind of almost toast those off a little bit. And I had some extra sage leaves, and they're going to go nice in there. And at this point, I think we're going to be ready. I'm going to heat up those sage leaves a little bit. I'm starting to smell it in the room here. Yeah, everything's starting to brown up nicely. I don't want to get too brown. So at this point, I'm going to hold my hand over the lemon and squeeze some lemon juice in there. Because I want to try to catch any seeds that come out of this lemon. And this was an extra big lemon that I got at the store today. So that's 1/2, and I caught a couple seeds. This is your arm strength workout today, and you can use a lemon press or anything like that, but I'm good with this. Got myself a paper towel and dry my hand off. That's now coming together nicely. Got that nice lemony flavor. Now is the time to add just a little bit of that chicken stock in there. Kind of fortify these flavors a bit. And by the way, this is unsalted because, again, we use the prosciutto, so I've used unsalted butter, and this is unsalted chicken stock. And I've used that to, you know, kind of even out. And I'm going to taste it as I go. In fact, I'll probably do a quick taste right now. The stock just went in, so you know, I'm going to use my spoon to kind of get a little bit of an idea. It's definitely a good lemon flavor, no question there. Got to cook the sage down a little bit. Not a lot of heat. I might add some more red pepper flake and more pepper in there. So, and of course, I just put the stock in, so it's already muddled the flavors a little bit. We're going to concentrate that. May bruise the sage a little bit just by rubbing it. Get a little more sagey flavor. And again, hey, if you don't like some of these flavors, don't put them in. It's your dish. You know, you don't have to make exactly what I make. So I'm going to add an aggressive amount of red pepper in there. Again, you know, if you don't like red pepper, that is perfectly fine. Oop. But I like a little heat. And we're going to add some cream in, so that'll balance it out as well. A little more herbs. Okay, spoon, you want to stay there? Stay there. That's fine. I need a spoon rest. We got to get one of those. I have one at home. And if you notice as I kind of pass my spoon through, most of those brown bits are all gone at this point. And yes, I know, someone's like, that's a lot of red pepper. My dish. It's okay, don't put as much in yours. The world won't end. So I'm going to let this simmer down a bit more, and then I'm going to add in the cream and a little bit of parsley kind of towards the end to brighten it up just a little bit. And then we're going to put our chicken in, get it coated, and then I'll be plating something for you. Okay. I decided I wanted to kind of add a little more fat in the mix, so I added a bit more butter in just now. And because I'm going to swirl that kind of into it and kind of help me kind of start to build that sauce a little bit more. So I'm going to use the pan, and the sauce is going to start to tighten up a little bit more. You can kind of see it more sticking to the edge of the pan. That butter's starting to really get in there. Color's changing. You know, I'm going to add the cream in a second. And some of the tightening up is also, there's a little bit of that flour residue from the chicken. Look at that. That's nice and tight. I like that. That's what I want. So now we're going to gild the lily a little bit. And we're going to put some heavy whipping cream in there. Because, no. Yeah. Like, oh my, Shawn, that's a lot of heavy whipping cream. Yes, yes it is. And I like this dish. So, again, make that nice, happy sauce. And by the way, I tasted it a bunch of times and let it kind of mellow out. That red pepper flake mellowed out a little bit. The sage is in there in the background. It's not too assertive. The lemon is lemon forward, there's no question. It's supposed to be lemon forward. So we're going to let this cook for a little bit. And we'll be back when I go ahead and put in the chicken. Alright, so now I'm going to kind of nestle these lovely crispy chicken tenders into the sauce. And I want those pan drippings because that's deliciousness. That's just awesomeness here. And the nice thing about the prosciutto is it's not gonna get soggy that quickly. And we'll be eating this pretty shortly. So, just let this sit and the chicken warm up and kind of meld into that sauce a little bit. Put a little bit of sage on top of each one. And we'll go from there. So, alright, see you in a second. Alright, so everything has been melding in there nice and happy like. So we're going to go ahead and we'll plate something up for you here. So I have a little bit of rice here. Make a nice bed of rice and use that. I'll get you a happy piece of chicken. Maybe two. Turn that off. So we got that. Lovely thick sauce, and it's really thickening up now. And then just so we have a little bit of veg going on. Got some green beans. And they're not pretty to look at, but these ones are delicious. These ones are come seasoned already. I'm fairly fond of them. So again, I'm not gonna get all my points for plating, you know, but this isn't Chopped. This is Food Bytes. So I guess I'll make the Alright, this has been Food Bytes, and I'm going to enjoy this lovely plate of food. Thank you for watching. Please watch some of our other videos, whether it's our crafting videos or our technology videos. We have a lot of things available on our YouTube channel as well as on our Facebook pages. The other thing is we have a Twitch channel where we're doing some gaming content and some other content, so check us out on Twitch as well. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, Twitch, Snapchat, a little bit of TikTok, YouTube, and I think that's everybody. And I enjoy having you here. You know, the best thing in the world is to cook for somebody, because to me that's to show you care. So this is our instance to cook for you, to show you that the library cares about you. So I wish you good eating, and I'm going to have myself a nice plate of food, so have a good one. Oh man, that's cool. All right, guys, dig in.